Okay, let's flip over to page 281. And today what we're going to talk about, writing our fractions and writing our decimals as percents. 281, page 281. During the 2008-2009 season of the NBA, the Phoenix Suns won about 11/20ths of their games. The Miami Heat won about 0.524 of their games. Which team was more successful during the season? To compare the season performances of the Suns and the Heat, it is helpful to write the fraction and the decimal as a percent. Now, your book shows you how to do this one way. It's kind of ridiculous. They want you to take 11/20ths, multiply it by something to get to 100, because we know that percents are for every 100, and then turn that fraction into a percentage. 20 times what would be 100? 5. So whatever you multiply the bottom by, you also must have to multiply the top by. It would be 55, and then 55 over 100 turns into what percent? 55%. Because it's the number for every 100. So if I take a fraction and it's over 100, it's just the numerator. 33 over 100 is 33%. 5 over 100 is 5%. 100 over 100 is 100%. There is an easier way to do this. It's nice when these numbers are factors of 100. But what if I give you something like this? 8 over 13.
That's 96. So you're going to get...
No. You can't get to 100. So the other way to turn a fraction into a percentage is divide. 11 over 20. Hey Gabby, what's the divisor? What's the dividend?
20 is the dividend, and 11 is the divisor. Oh wait, 20 is the divisor, and 11 is the dividend.
Hey Gabby, if I have 11 over 20, isn't that just 11 divided by 20? Yeah. 20 doesn't go into 11 very nicely, so I have to add a decimal point into 0. How many times does 20 go into 110? 5 whole times. That gives me 100. Add another 0. How many times does 20 go into 100?
5.
Now I have my decimal, 0.55. Do you know how to turn a decimal into a percentage?
You move the decimal point 2 times to the right.
To the right. 0.55. Now I go 2 times to the right. 1, 2.
It's like the exact opposite of what we...
It is the exact opposite. If I turn a percentage into a decimal, 2 places, well, it would be this way, to your left. If I turn a percentage into a decimal, it's 2 places to the left. If I turn a decimal into a percentage, 2 places to the right. 1, 2, 55%. So, back to our sample. What team is this?
The Heat and
The Suns. They were 55%. The Heat was 0.524. Ooh, that's already in decimal form. Harley, help me out. So your answer becomes? Yeah. Look at all this space. Blah, 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 blah. 52.4%. Oh, look. That's what they did. They moved it twice. So I guess for this lesson, your book is half smart. But I'm all the way smart. And soon you, Maxwell, will be all the way smart too. Flip the page. Oh my goodness, look. Write 0.7 as a fraction and as a percent. You have to provide both answers to get credit. Oh boy. 0.7 means 7 what? How do you say 0.7? 7 tenths. But 7 tenths has nothing to do with percent. I have to multiply it by what? I have to multiply it by 10. So it becomes 70 over 100. Over 100 I don't know what all that stuff is. But 70 over 100, we're going to reduce it again anyway, so it's going to go back to 7 over 10. 70 over 100 becomes what percentage? We just talked about it. 70%. I don't like this over 100.
Yeah. Why?
Because if you just do this, there's your percentage.
Move to the right.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Why can't you do it?
Why can't you just move it once? If you move it once, that's multiplying by 10. You have to multiply by 100. Because percent is for every 100.
But it's still the same answer.
No, it's not. If you move it once, it becomes 7. If you move it twice, it becomes 7.
Oh, I thought we were gonna. I was thinking that was to like make it 7.
Now, if the number's not pretty, like 3/40ths, you actually have to do the division. 3 over 40, we have to first turn it into a decimal, then turn it into a percentage. 40 goes into 3, 0 times. 40 goes into 30, 0. 40 goes into 300, oh look, they did that for us, thank you. 40 goes into 300 how many times? Hint, it will give you 280.
Hey, I just said it's close to 7. 7.
How many times does 4 go into 28?
7.
7 times 40 is 280. Subtract, you get 20. Bring down the other 0. What times 40 will give me 200? Yep.
What's he give you an answer?
Because this is a guided practice problem. This is to help you feel good about yourself. 0.075. That's my decimal. That becomes what as a percentage? Not 75. Don't make that mistake. 7.5. 1, 2.
It's not a good
Oh.
percent there.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
2 times, and only 2 times.
That's not a super good percent there.
What do you mean it's not super good percent?
It's only 7%. That's scary.
Okay. trying to think of an appropriate example that 7.5% would be good. You drop an anchor on your foot 7.5% of the times that you drop it. Wouldn't that be a good? You want it to be close to 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's take a look and do some samples. Practice these. 3/25, 3/10, 0.717, and 0.002. No, practice them right now. Write the fraction or the decimal as a percent. Tell me what that is as a percent. I'm at the top of page 283. Yes, ma'am.
Like when you have the number, would you like divide like the denominator?
Which one are you looking at?
Number 2.
Number 2? It's just like number 1. Let's look at number 1. Your book kind of guides you into this multiplication craziness. We can do that because 25 is a nice pretty number compared to 100. But if it's not, I have to divide 3 by 25. They're saying multiply this by 4 and this by 4, you get 12. 12 over 100 becomes 12%. If I did it the Slivka way, 3 divided by 25,
25 goes to 30 once. You get 5, add 0, and then that's 2. Then you move the decimal twice and you get 12%.
question.
No.
Do you see how I did that? And I just moved my decimal 2 places to the right. Gabby, 3/10. 2 ways you can do it. You can set it up like this and multiply it by 10. Let's just do 3 divided by 10.
I tried to do
Same goes for 32.
So my answer is not.
30.
It's 30. Don't forget to move the decimal point twice. 1, 2, 30%.
When you
Hey, shortcut, shortcut, shortcut. Anytime you have something over 10, 3 over 10, 30%. 6 over 10, 60%. 9 over 10, 90%. 1 over 10, 10%. Nice little pattern. Question?
Number 1, I don't think I can that like the answers.
Okay, so 2 ways to do number 1. You could do the book way. What times 25 gives me 100? Whatever I multiply my denominator by, I must also multiply my numerator by. So 3 times 4 is 12. And since it's 12 over 100, percents are always out of 100, it becomes 12%. If you do it my way, it's 3 divided by 25. Add a decimal point and a 0. 25 goes into 30 one time. Subtract, you get a 5. Add another 0, you get 50. 25 goes into 50 two times. 2 times 25 is 50. It's 0.12. Then 2 places to the right, 12%. How did I do number 3?
How do you do it? Because it's a decimal.
This is a decimal. Oh, number 3.
Yeah.
If you have a decimal already, what are you going to do?
To the right.
To the right, to the right. So you get what?
7.7%.
And what'd you get for number 4? 0.02%. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 0.02. 2%. Last set of examples before I let you loose on your homework. Write the number in 2 other forms: fraction, decimal, or percent. Write the fraction in simplest form. So they're going to give you a number, and they're going to say, write it 2 other ways. We've seen this before when we were talking about ratios. If I say 6 over 11, you would write 6 to 11 and 6 colon 11. When I'm going to say 0.01, and I want you to write that, that's a decimal, right? I want you to write that as a percent and as a fraction. I want you to write the 2 that are not listed. 0.01, well, that would be 0.01 over 100 if I'm writing it as a... What do I have to multiply this by to get a whole number? 100. That's okay. I'm not worried about it if I don't like it. It's just numbers. I got to do what I got to do. That becomes 1 over, what's 100 times 100? 1,000. 10,000.
So whatever place it is and behind it, you have to multiply it by.
No. Not 1 over 10,000. Yeah. Why am I doing that? Come on, Sliff. 0.01. That's 1 over 100. Isn't that 1/100th? Yeah. What is that as a percentage? 1%. 13 over 40. They give me a fraction. I want a decimal, and I want a percent. Let's do the decimal first. Uh-oh, 40 doesn't go into 100 nice and even. Let's just do it my way. 13 divided by 40. How many times does 40 go into 130?
120.
How many times does 40 go into 100?
2 times.
How many times does 40 go into 200?
5.
So 13 over 40 becomes 0.325. And what percentage is that?
32.5%.
Cool?
But what's the 0 for the percentage? 32.
32.5?
You have to put the 0
Where? This 0?
Yeah.
No, it goes away. If if you're moving this to the right, I don't have $5 in my pocket. 6/5. Hey, 6/5, is that more than 100%?
Yeah.
That's more than 1 if I reduce that. 6 divided by 5. 5 goes into 6 one time. .2, which is what percentage, Max?
12.
No.
What?
Journey.
100%? I already, yeah, I had that.
120%. Lastly, 0.008. How do you say that? 8. What place is it in? Not 100. 1,000. And Roger, what percent would that be? 0.8%. So here's what I want you to do for homework. Go over to page 285, and let's do 2 through 14. Page 285, 2 through 14. See you tomorrow.